Hey kids, how you guys doing? Old Grandpa here. Well, I'm gonna name this video "Man, It's Hard," because man, it is hard. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Let me explain myself. Springtime, even up here in Alaska, warm, snows are all melting. I don't know if you can see around behind me here, but still lots of snow on the ground up here. I still have well, I'm down by Willow right now. I'm still 30 miles north of here, so I still have a foot and a half of snow on the ground, which is fine for me. But I was just down in Wasilla, and man, you know, the Lowe's stores starting to roll out their garden stuff, and you could just kind of smell spring was in the air. This is typically the time of year we would be getting chickens in, and baby chicks, baby ducks, turkeys, geese, all that kind of stuff. I got a lot of catalogs in the mail. I've been getting emails and text messages trying to get me to buy poultry from all the hatcheries. Lady I bought pigs from last year called me up to see if I wanted any pigs this year, and man, it's hard. It's hard not to do that, but I'm not planting anything. Got all those seed catalogs in the mail this year. I just threw them out. Got all the hatchery catalogs and stuff in the mail. I just threw them out. It's hard for me, but it is what it is. This is the price that you pay to follow your dreams, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm following my dream of wanting to sail around the world and provide good quality content on the YouTube channel. And the price of that is I've got to sell my farm up here in Alaska, and I gotta quit farming in order to do that. So no chickens, no ducks, no turkeys, no geese, no pigs, no cows, no horses, none of that this year. No garden going in. Of course, I couldn't put a garden in right now anyway. I know all my friends down in the lower 48 and a lot of my subscribers who, you know, came over to my channel from back in the homesteading days. I know you guys are all rototilling and planting and getting all excited about getting your gardens in. We still have a foot of snow on the ground. In fact, it's going to be a few weeks before that snow is off, and then it's going to be a few more weeks before the soil would warm up here enough to even start thinking about putting the seed in. We typically don't start planting our garden up here in Alaska till, well, we do raised bed around the 15th of May, and if we don't do raised bed, the 1st of June, because the ground's too cold, just too cold. And it still gets too cold at night, so that's the time of year we usually put our garden in. So it's kind of hard on old Grandpa. I mean, I want to follow my dreams and do what I want to do, but this is the first time in many decades that I've really not been putting in the garden and doing all the usual things that I would do this time of year. I didn't think it would bother me all that much, but surprisingly it really does. You know, it really bothers me not to be doing that this year. Recently I was watching another cruising sailing channel. Well, I'll give them a shout out. It was the couple on a catamaran, not Gone with the Wind. What's their names? Oh crap. Anyhow, it'll come to me. Anyhow, there's this couple out on a catamaran, and they're a little hoity-toity. They're a little persnickety. But they're out having fun, and they're out on a catamaran, and they're making some content, and they're building an audience, and that's fine. But they were asked a question. They did a Q&A this week, and they were asked a question about, you know, what do you miss from being, you know, having a home? And their answer, you know, kind of smart alecky, their answer was they didn't miss anything. I couldn't answer it that way. I couldn't. You know, what I'm going to miss is going to be the farm. You know, the animals and putting in the garden and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I've been an advocate for know your farmer, know your food. And man, when you are your farmer, it certainly makes it easy to know what you're doing and make sure you're growing good quality, healthy foods. So much of what's available for people, so much of what people eat today is just, geez, just nonsense, just horrible. So I'm an advocate for all farm and no factory in my food. If it has to go to a factory, I don't eat it. So I'm pretty careful about that kind of stuff. And that's actually going to create a bit of a hardship for me out sailing because I'm going to have to be reliant upon going to grocery stores and buying groceries, which means I'm going to have no choice but to buy things that are GMO and, get all that glycophosphate crap in my system. I'm going to do everything I can, obviously, to limit that. But, the reality of it is I'm going to have some exposure there. So, because I'm not growing it myself. So, I will endeavor, whenever I arrive at a port, I'm going to endeavor to make sure I can find local farmers and try to buy direct. Not just from the cost-saving standpoint, but just the health issues about it. I think that's pretty interesting. And I've been following a lot of these, Sailing with the Winds, I think was the name of the channel, that couple. That was it, Sailing with the Winds. Or Gone with the Winds or Sailing with the Winds, I'm not sure what, something like that. I noticed a lot of the cruising channels tend to go to all of the hangouts, the known sailing, cruising destinations, if they're down in the Florida Keys, they're in Marathon Harbor, or they're, No Name Harbor or Biscayne Bay, or, and then they go to the British Virgin Islands, and everybody's got to be at Norman Island, or everybody's got to be at Joost Van Dyke. And I noticed like the Soggy Dollar Bar on Joost Van Dyke in the BVI has a webcam. You can get online right now. You can switch over from my channel, look on theirs, Soggy Dollar Bar, and you can see the webcam and see the boats and people parked out in the anchorage in the mooring field right in front of the bar, and all the people covered in oil trying to get their suntans on the lounge chairs and stuff there on the beach, and going into the bar and buying all their libations. And I thought to myself, that's all great, but I have absolutely no interest in going to places like that. Maybe a lot of these cruisers do, and certainly a lot of the sailors do, and I have been there, but that's just not my style. Just, I'm not a heavy drinker anymore. I used to be, but not anymore. I guess that's one of the reasons why I moved up here to Alaska, to get away from all of the craziness. And I don't want to be on some anchorage where I have to take a mooring ball. I can't drop a hook because there's too many mooring balls there, because they want to raise revenue and generate money for themselves. So they put it in a mooring field, so you cannot anchor, and then you have to pay them to tie to the mooring field. I'm not cool with that. I'm also not cool with going someplace that's so commercialized that, they're so well organized. There's 50 or 60 boats in that anchorage every day with people pulling into Joost and they're drinking. Just not my thing, guys. So if you're following my channel and we're going to talk about sailing and go to locations, I want you to understand that I am not going to go from tourist destination to tourist destination to tourist destination. In fact, just the opposite. I'm going to search out those places that nobody else goes. Now, that's the hard road to go. Okay, that's a lot more difficult. It's not going to be as convenient. You're not going to have the access to services and stuff like they do in a lot of locations. But, that's my thing. That's the way I've been my entire life. I don't mind the hardship of having to go find someplace. And, the currency, the exchange for that is the privacy and the beauty of being in a remote location. I would much rather find an anchorage where I'm the only boat in that anchorage, as opposed to being in an anchorage with 50 other boats. Sure, there is security in numbers. I get that. I understand why those people go to those places. I really do. Just not for me. And if you're following my channel, just realize that's not where we're going to go. This is not going to be another channel of people drinking a lot and going to all of the big well-known tourist destination charter spots. And, I may go to the British Virgin Islands. I'm sure I will run the circuit and hit all the usual places. I can tell you, I like Norman Island, the Bite on Norman Island, there where the Willie T is and the Pirates Bite restaurant is. It's something about that particular cove I happen to like. But I would much rather be at an anchorage away from everybody else. And so I probably will not spend much time in the BVI if I go through there. And as I go down islands through the Caribbean, I'm going to try to avoid all the well-known places. So just realize that when you're following my channel, we're going to be looking for the remote locations where nobody else goes. I'm going to be doing a lot of scuba diving. I am not going to be going to a bunch of named scuba diving sites. I'm going to be going to places where, you know, I think it might be an interesting spot to go to and try to research and explore new places. That's what this is all about. You know, I said I'm going to name the boat SERV Inanna. SERV stands for Sailing, Exploration, and Research Vessel. Not just sailing vessel. My plans are to explore and to research things. So that's kind of the direction we're going to go. Anyhow, this is getting long. I just thought I would drop in here. Blah, 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 blah. I can't speak today. Just thought I would drop in here and tell you guys it's been hard on me not doing any spring planning this year, but it is what it is. We'll see you guys later. Please do like and subscribe. We will have more sailing, cruising, scuba diving footage coming up in hopefully the near future, just as soon as old Grandpa can sell the farm and get going. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.